Hi everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice and welcome back to another problem of the day discussion. So quickly give me a +1 in the chat and hit the like button if my voice is clearly audible to everyone so that we can start off with the video. Okay. Hi Rishit, hi HTML, CSS, Java. So all of you can just quickly hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat if everything is working fine, and then we will be starting off with the problem as well. Okay, Sky Hills is saying hi. Hi, Sanjeev is saying hi. So great. So let's start off by sharing my screen. So I'm quickly sharing my screen. So let's look into the problem. Obviously, you can do what? You can search for GFG POD, and then you'll get this particular link, that is count of subarrays. Sum of beauty of all subarrays. Right. This was the problem of the day for yesterday. Now let's quickly discuss this particular problem. Okay, can we start discussing this particular problem? You can write yes or +1 in the chat, and then we can start. Those students who know only language but not DSA can start solving question. Yes, they can. CA Mithilesh, definitely they can. Okay, all of it. You can give me a +1. Can we start off now? Great. So if you haven't liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. Now the problem says that I have to find the sum of beauty of all the substrings. Okay. Now first of all, understand what is a substring. So let's say if I give you a string, let's say I give you a string like let's say I give you a string something like this, k r x then z o b. Okay, anything I give you, and then I can say that what is a substring. Substring, if you'll think about substring or subarray, it is nothing but continuous. Okay, it is nothing but a contiguous segment. So you can see that this is a substring. Is that clear? Suppose that this is a substring, or you can say that maybe instead of that, in this particular string you can say that this is a substring. Okay, contiguous segment. Now again you can say the hi Joel, this is a substring also. The whole string is also a substring. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Is that clear to everyone? Let's say if I have a string like a, b, then a, okay, a, then I have something like c. Okay, suppose this is there, and this is a particular substring. Okay, suppose that this is the substring a c. Triple ac is a substring here. Now in this particular case it says that the beauty, okay, it says that I have to return the sum of beauty of all the strings, right? Please write b in the chat. I have to return the sum of beauty of all of the strings. Now what does it mean? So basically the beauty of a particular string, or you can say the beauty of a particular substring, is defined as the difference between the frequency of the most frequent element and the least frequent element, or you can say that the difference of the frequencies of the most frequent element and the least frequent element or character. Now, if you will see here, now in this particular substring, which is the most frequent element? A, right? A is occurring three times, right? A is occurring three times. So I'll say that, okay, the maximum occurring element, the character that is occurring most number of times is A, and it is occurring three number of times. After this, if I'll see in this particular substring, uh, that is triple AC, which is the character that is occurring least number of times? C. C is occurring only one time. So this is the minimum occurring character. Now I have to subtract the now the beauty of a particular string, or you can say a substring, is nothing but the maximum minus the minimum. Okay, and this is going to be nothing but what? This is going to be nothing but, you can say 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So the beauty of this particular string is nothing but 2. Is that clear to everyone? Everyone is clear with this particular part? If you are clear, you can hit the like button. If you haven't, okay, everyone is clear with this part. What is the beauty of a particular string? Okay, like how do we define the beauty of a particular string? Okay, now it says that I have to find what? I have to find the sum of the beauty of all the substrings. Okay, there's one substring, but I need to find the beauty of like beauty of all the substrings. Okay, so there is the competitive programming in GFG. Yes, there is a live course that exists. You can go to GFG courses and you'll find that live course there. Right now, if you will see here now, how can I generate all possible substrings? Right, so can I say that what I can do is, like, if I'm given something, let's say a b then a, then let's say c then a then d then a then c, whatever, right? If this kind of a string is given, so I can say that, let's say I am at this particular I, right? And let's say this is my let's say, like, one time I'll run a loop I, basically, first of all. Then maybe I can say that, like, from this range, like, let's say I'm saying that this is a substring. Okay, so I need to have a j pointer, na? Like starting from I till, like, j can start from I. So from here till here I'm having this particular substring. So I can say that I can do what, I can run a for loop for I, okay, that is starting from zero, like I starts from what, I starts from zero till the end of the string. Then I can run another j loop, okay, that will start from I and it will go till the end. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that this particular substring is going to take order of n cube time. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that Okay, sorry, I got disconnected because of some internet issues. Is my voice audible now? I don't know what happened exactly. Right, let me share my screen again. Is my screen visible to everyone? All of you can give me a +1 in the chat if my screen is perfectly visible. Okay, is everything working fine now? Just confirm that in the chat. Okay, all right. From where are you taking the class? Okay. So after this, like, see, I am saying, you guys saw this much part or not? Where did I end last? If I'll see here, okay. Yeah, so see, I was saying that basically I'll have a j, right? And let's suppose from this I till this j I want to substring, right? So I can run a k loop. Okay, k loop will be starting from I till k is lesser equal to what? K is lesser equal to, let's say, j, right? And then I will generate this particular substring and then I'll find. So this will take order of n cube time for generating all the substrings and then finding, correct? Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone? This will take order of n cube time because I'll have a I loop, then j loop, and then another k loop. So this approach is going to take order of n cube time, right? But I can do it otherwise also. Like I can do it in some other fashion also. Like in this particular case, like if I'll see for this particular example, so what I can basically do is I don't need to run a j loop. Like I don't need to run a basically k loop. Why? Because if you will observe now, what I can say is, let's say if my j is till this particular point, right? So this will be the substring, correct? Now after that, suppose my j will move here, then this will be the substring. Then my j will move here, then this will be the substring. Is that clear to everyone? That with the help of j, I can eliminate the k loop. Please write k in the chat, guys, and hit the like button as well if everyone is clear till now. Is everyone clear till now? Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear with this? Okay. Right. Is everyone clear with this particular part? Okay. Sky Hills is staying clear. What about Joel and what about other? Okay. Rishit is also saying clear. What about other people? Okay. Yeah. Correct. Okay. Now what I can do is, like, if you'll observe now, can I say that for a particular segment, right? For a particular segment, let's say this is my I, okay, and let's say my j is somehow, let's say my I is this, right? So can I say that from every starting point of I, right, I'll keep the frequency as zero. Okay, so what I can simply do here is I can say that for I will start from zero. Okay, I is lesser than n, obviously that is the size of the string. Then I'll do an I plus plus, and I'll declare a frequency array, right? Frequency array. Since there are only 26 characters, small characters, so I'll mark their frequency as zero. Okay, I'll mark their frequency as zero initially, and I will also take a minimum. Minimum will be initialized to positive infinity. So it will be initialized to int maximum, na? Because if I want to take something as minimum, so I'll initialize it as int maximum. Okay, int maximum. int maximum. And maximum, if I want to take something as maximum, so I initialize it as minimum. So I'll initialize this maximum, like maximum value as int underscore min. Okay, this is what I'll do so that I can keep a track. And this I have taken for calculating the frequency, because if I take it initially, then I will not be able to reset it. But the moment my I starts from here, let's say, then if I'm considering j till here, suppose, so I want the frequency till this much point. So basically I don't want the frequency of the previous people before I, or let's say if for instance, if my I is standing here, okay, and j comes here, right? So I want the frequency of this much part, and I don't want anything for the previous part. So that is why every time I'm refreshing the like every time after my I loop is starting, I'm refreshing the frequency for all the 26 characters, right? After this particular part, what I will do is I'll run a J loop. Please write J in the chat, and then I can say that J will start from I. Obviously, J will be starting from I, right? J will be starting from I. J will be here, then J will be here, then J will be here. So I'll be considering all the possible substrings, right? And I can say that J is going to be lesser than N, and then I'll do a J plus plus, right? And then after this particular part, what I will do is I'll increment. Okay, so I'm writing this thing here. I'll do what? I'll increment the frequency. Like let's say I'll do what? I'll increment the frequency of the ith character, right? So s of I minus a plus plus. Now what does that mean? So basically I have taken an array, right, of 26 size. So the indexes in those, that array will be from 0 to 25. Please write 0 to 5 in the chat. Like the indexing will be from, if I've taken an array of 26 size, then the indexing will be from 0 till 25, right? So how am I indicating all the characters in terms of indexing from 0 to 25? So if I have a character a, if I subtract it with a, so I'll get a 0. If I have a character b, I subtract it with a, I'll get a 1. If I have a character c, if I subtract it with a, then I'll get 2. Similarly, so on and so forth. If I have z, if I subtract it with a, then I'll get nothing but 25. So this is how I'm going to get this particular thing. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, right? So everyone is clear with this particular thing. This is how I'm going to get the frequencies. Now after this particular part, what I will do is, after I've incremented the frequency, sorry, s of j plus plus, right? Because I'm at the jth character. So if I'm at the jth character, right, then after developing this particular string till now, what will I do? What will I do, guys? I will simply say that now I need to run for this particular map, okay, like for this particular basically frequency array that is of constant size. So from 0 till 26 I'll run, okay, and I'll say that if a frequency of, if for a particular character, right, if for a particular character, if the frequency, right, is not equal to 0, then I will check it. Like then I'll update my yeah, then I will update, sorry, I'll run a loop for k, sorry. Here I'll run a loop for k, because obviously I is already occupied. So inside this is the third loop inside, but it is a constant loop. So I'll run a loop k like this, and I'll say that if there's any kth frequency that is not equal to 0, so if there is any kth character that is occurring now, so that will be a candidate that will have a certain frequency to it, correct? Because see, if I will not check this particular condition now, then what will happen? Suppose that there is a certain frequency of k, okay, that is equal to 0, okay, and you don't check it, you just update it, okay. So in that case, what will happen? Your minimum will be always, you will try to minimize your minimum. In that case, if a frequency is not occurring, its frequency will be, if a character is not occurring, its frequency will be 0, and your minimum will get updated to 0, which you don't want, Is that clear to everyone? You don't want the minimum frequency to be 0, guys, otherwise you'll get wrong answer. Please write wa in the chat, otherwise you'll get wrong answers, right? Please write +1 in the chat if you're clear with this thing, that I need to check that if the frequency of any particular kth element is not equal to 0, then only I need to update my maximum and the minimum. Is that clear? Is that clear? Then only I need to check now, because otherwise my minimum might get updated to 0. If my minimum gets updated to 0, because the frequency at certain, for certain character might be 0, so in that case I'll update the minimum with the minimum frequency, so minimum will become 0. But this is something that I don't want now, because I want the minimum to be at least 1. So that is why I will check that if the frequency of the kth character is not equal to 0, only then I'll update my minimum and the maximum. Okay, Sky Hills, I am basically saying that if I have this particular segment now, so what is the minimum frequency? The minimum frequency is what? 1 here for the string AAC. The minimum frequency is what? I can see a lot of people are watching us, so you can hit the like button, guys, if you haven't, right? So I can simply say what? I can simply say here that the minimum frequency for this particular string AAC, the character with the minimum frequency, is what? C. Now please write C in the chat. It is nothing but C. So if it is C, in that case I want it, I obviously want it, right? So I will say that the minimum frequency is 1, right? So that is why for all the other characters, if the frequency of a particular character, kth character, is 0, then I don't want to compare my minimum now, because otherwise my minimum will get updated to 0, but I don't want my minimum to be 0. So that is why I'm checking that if the frequency, if there is no frequency that is 0, then only I'll update my minimum to minimum of what kth frequency, okay, comma, you can say uh, kth frequency comma the minimum till now, and the maximum will be nothing but the maximum of the kth frequency comma the maximum, right? Is that clear to everyone? Okay, just explain the algo briefly after the code implementation. Just explain the algo. So which part you want me to explain, Joel? Can you just elaborate it a little bit? And I can see a lot of people are watching us, guys. So please hit the like button if you haven't already. Okay, so this first part is clear to everyone. Can we proceed further, everyone? Can we proceed further? Can we proceed further now for writing the code? You can observe that this particular code, the outer, if outer for loop takes order of n time. Okay, the inner j loop now takes order of n time, and this loop is running constant time, right? This loop is running order of 26 time, which is you can say constant time, right? And once I have calculated the minimum and the maximum now, so after this particular part, what will I do? I'll simply say that my count or my answer plus, or you can say count plus is equal to nothing but the maximum frequency minus the minimum frequency for this particular substring, right? Is that clear to everyone? Why not use a multi-set? Because multi-set will have a certain complexity, no? Like using array is better. You can always use a multi-set as well. But if you're given integers, if you're given integers, then which have a certain amount. Like if there are integers in a larger range, then you can use multi-set. But here, since we are given characters, so we don't need to use multi-sets. Okay, is that clear to everyone till now? So what will I do here? I'll simply say that I'll start, and I'll simply initially I'll have the counter as 0, guys. Okay, and after this will start. So I'll say that int I starts from 0, I is lesser than the size of the string. So you can say I is lesser than n basically, and then I'll do an I plus plus after this particular part. Is this clear till now, everyone? You can just quickly let me know, and I'll have the frequency array declared for 26 size. Initially I'll have all the elements as 0. Can we use a sliding window? If you want, you can use it, but there's no necessary requirement for it. Then I'll have my j from I. J is lesser than the s dot size. Okay, then I'll do a j plus plus as well. And once I have done it, so what will I do? I'll simply say that I also need to do one more thing. I need to mark my maximum frequency as int min. Okay, and I also need to do what? I need to mark my minimum frequency as int max. Okay, is that clear till now, everyone? And after this particular part, I'll say that I'll increase the frequency of the ith character. Okay, so I'll increase the frequency of the ith character, and we can simply write frequency. Yes, that is also something that you can write, but I have a habit of writing like this, so you can write anything that you like. Reshit, like that approach will also work, I think. Okay, so I'll increase the frequency of the jth character. Sorry, I'll increase the frequency of the jth character, and once I've done it, then what will I do, guys? Can you tell me after this particular part? What should I do? I've already told you in the part. Can you tell me, Rishit? Anyone can tell me? After this particular part is done, like what should be the next move? Okay, can you tell me, anyone? Like I think that I should have this thing here. Sorry, yeah, basically I should like for every jth, like for every string till this jth point of time now, like if I am you need to understand one thing. Like if let's say this is AAC, right? And if I'm considering the substring from this I till this j now, so I need to, if I'm considering the frequency from the frequency array, the highest and the lowest frequencies, then till this particular j, if I'm considering, so I should have my maximum as negative infinity, and I should have my minimum as positive infinity, right? So basically I'm saying this thing that you should refreshen up after since you're considering for every string from I to j, so you need to do this thing. You should not have it here basically, because I think initially I told you this thing here, but basically you should check this particular thing here, that the maximum should be marked as int min, and the minimum should be marked as int max. Is that clear to everyone? Because we are considering the string from I till j. That is why in the j loop we are marking this particular maximum frequency of this. Like, see, we are considering the string from like starting from the ith index till the jth index. That is the substring that we are considering, right? So for that we need to find the maximum and the minimum now. So now we will iterate through the map because map will be storing that particular thing. So that is why we have marked the maximum and the minimum. We have updated or we have initialized our maximum and minimum here. Is that clear to everyone? Other people are clear with it or not? Others are clear with it? Okay, so what I will do here, I'll say that okay, k starts from 0, k is lesser than 26, and then I'll do a k plus plus, right? And I'll simply say that if the frequency of I, okay, if it is not equal to, we can use int max and int outside as well. But I think this is much better. Like this GFG near to GFG, GGF, okay. What are you saying? Also no value previous loops of existing window. Okay, right. So what will I do here? Like I can simply say that if this is not the case, then the maximum frequency is nothing but a maximum of the mx that I've seen up till now, comma the frequency kth frequency, right? And the minimum frequency is nothing but the minimum of the minimum frequency that I've seen up till now, comma the frequency k, okay, comma the kth frequency. After this particular part is done, right? So when I come out of this loop, then can I say that the count plus is equal to nothing but maximum minus minimum, okay? And once I've done this, then I can simply return the count, I think. Okay, you can write this part in in some function as well if you want. Basically this is checking the this particular portion is checking the uh, beauty of a string, right? So this is nothing but beauty of a particular string starting from I till j. So that is what I'm storing in, right? Now let's try and do one thing. Let's try and quickly compile this code to see if I've made any mistakes here or not. And if you're clear with till this point, so you can hit the like button as well. Okay, it says that count plus is equal to this. Okay, so did I make some mistake? Plus, okay, count plus is equal to maximum minus minimum. All right, I'm getting a higher answer. Why is that the case? Okay, I should write frequency of k, na, not I. Sorry. Let's try and now compile it. All right, works on the samples, right? It works on the samples, you can see, because if you will see for this particular case, so you can think of the strings as like there'll be a lot of strings, obviously. Basically, if you'll observe for this particular case, then one of the strings is AAC, it will have the beauty as 2, and the second string is AAC, triple AC is one string that will have that will have the beauty as 2, and double AC is the second string that will have the beauty as 1. So the total beauty overall will be nothing but 2 plus 1, that is nothing but 3. Okay, can we try to move to the maximum and minimum to line number 17 also? I'll move it for you, and I'll show you, Rishit, like it. I think it should not work. Okay, now let's try and submit it to see. Okay, so it gets accepted, right? So is this problem clear to all of you? The approach is clear? This is a good question. Obviously, yes, this is a good question. Is this clear to everyone till now? Is everyone clear till now? Okay, so you can see that it gets accepted, right? So you can observe one thing here, right? After the j loop, now see, I am saying one thing, that you need to, like, if there's a string, like if let's say this is a string, and if I'm talking about it like it's from its ith point till this jth point, if I'm considering this particular substring now, then out of this particular range I want to find the maximum occurring character and the minimum occurring character. So after the j loop is over, right? After the j loop is over, I, like, from this I till this j, if I'm considering the substring, right? And then if I'm considering the substring from I till j, okay, if I'm considering the substring till from I till j, right? So in that particular case, I need to have maximum and minimum as basic, right? Maximum should be negative infinity and the minimum should be positive infinity. They should be initialized there, because for this particular from ij, please write ij in the chat. From this particular I till that till the j, till the j, I am considering the frequencies, right? I am considering the maximum and the minimum occurring character. That is why I'm updating it here. Okay, because if you will not do it, then what will happen? Let's see. So if you will do it, like if let's say if I copy this here and if I'll copy it upwards, I think I missed it. Just give me a second. I'll copy it again. Let's paste it here and let's remove it from here. Okay, let's try and see if it will work or not. Right, so see here, if you haven't done that, then you will see the answer. Right, can you see that the answer that I'm getting here is now what for the triple AC? I'm getting the answer as 7 now, because you are not refreshing your I and j for every substring from I till j. You want to have new maximum, new minimum, right? So that is why you need to refresh your maximum and the minimum variables every time. Okay, is that clear? Like every time of when you're considering the new I and the new j, like substring from I till j, so you need to refresh it here, because this is the loop that is counting the frequency for that particular I and j. So that is why we are doing it after the j loop. Is that clear to everyone? Please hit the like button, guys, if you are clear with this particular thing. This was the most important part of this problem, I feel. Okay. Is that clear? Oh, I got it. Okay. Yeah, Rishit. Great. Right. So you got it after making a mistake, right? Just one thing, sir. How the frequencies is coming? So the frequency, basically, I'm storing the frequencies here. Like I'm storing, like if there's a, so if I'm doing a minus a, right? So that is storing some frequency, and then b minus a. So like if I have a, right? Like see this thing. If I have a, if I do a minus a, then that will be nothing but 0, right? If I have b, if I do b minus a, so that will be 1. So a is reflecting, 0 is reflecting the index 0 inside the array, which is of 26 size. The 0 index is reflecting the frequency of a, the 1 index is reflecting the frequency of b, and so on and so forth. So basically I'm iterating for it from the, like for every string, like for a substring from I till the jth point. Once I have stored its frequency, right? Once I have stored its frequency, so I'm iterating for all the characters, and if the character occurs, then I'm finding the minimum and the maximum frequency out of the frequency storage that I have here, and then I am calculating the beauty of the particular string starting from I till j. Is that clear to everyone? All of you can hit the like button and write a clear in the chat if you are clear with this thing. Okay, but I think that it was a quite easy problem. Now talking about the time complexity. Okay, so you can observe that we are running two loops. There's one more loop that is order of 26 times, but basically we should not consider it, it's constant time. So the overall time complexity, since we have two nested loops, so because we are generating all possible substrings, so that will be nothing but order of n square. And talking about like, please write n square in the chat or n into n in the chat if everyone is clear with it, and hit the like button if you haven't. Right, so the time complexity is going to be nothing but order of n square. And talking about the space complexity, so what is it going to be? You can say it is 20 order of 26, or you can say it as constant space as well, right? Constant space, because we, like, you can say it as order of one space, kind of, right? Because we are taking only 26 characters for store, like we are taking only 26 indexes from 0 till 25 to store the frequency of each and every character. Right, is that clear to everyone? I hope that everyone is clear with this particular problem. You can give me a +1, and then we'll be good to go with this problem also. Okay, so let's see. N cross n, n cross n. Okay, clear. Rishit is saying clear. Joel is saying okay, I got it. All right, great. So all of you can write understood in the chat also, right? That will be fine. Sir, how can I increase my solving time? I am not getting idea of approaching. So I'll say that do one thing. Like you can do one thing. You can keep on solving the problem of the day, GFG problem of the day. Okay, this is one thing that you can try to do. And also one thing that you guys can do is you will, if you'll search for this platform, that is GFG practice here. So you can do one thing like. Basically, if you will see here, so you can click on the problem section, and for whatever topics, Joel, you are solving a particular problem, you can first of all untick everything that is given here. And then let's say if you are preparing, let's say if you are preparing for some topic like let's say something like, let's say linked list, so you can tick mark on linked list, and then whatever companies you want now, you can select those companies also. And then you can do one other thing, you can select, let's say, the easy tag and the medium tags. Okay, and then you can solve these problems. Let's say there are 10-20 problems or whatever you want to solve, so you can solve these problems, so that will give you a lot of idea. So this is one way that I can recommend you. Try to start solving based on this particular approach. That is how I do it normally. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay, the problem is clear to everyone. I hope that the problem statement was clear. Now, again, talking about, okay, I should give my code as well, I think, right? That will be better. So just give me a second. I forgot to give my code as well. So just a second, gfcpod, and we have our code here. So I'll give you my code so that you can submit it as well. Yeah, let's copy it, and I'm opening the IDE as well. Right, so let's try and compile it. So all of you can hit the like button, guys. I can see a lot of people are watching us live. So I'll give you the code in the chat. And this is the code that is there in the chat. You can try to submit this problem on your own, or you can use this code as well, because you have followed the session throughout. So this was it, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining for the problem of the day. And quickly give me a +1 and understood in the chat. After this video is over, you can also comment on understood if you understood this problem properly with the basic dry run. And thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Let's meet on Friday with another problem of the day. Okay. Bye, good night, and take care. Thanks a lot, everyone. You can write a +1 before we end this stream so that I know that everyone has understood the problem and the concept for it. That is the main part for this problem was nothing but tackling the maximum and the minimum, right? Because you always have to find the maximum and the minimum. So for every substring starting from I till j, you will find the maximum and the minimum, right? So that is why you'll always optimize your maximum and the minimum to the base values after the j loop. Okay, thank you everyone, and I'll see you in another stream. Good night, take care, and keep coding.